Alright, so similes versus metaphors, and these two things are both literary devices that can often be used interchangeably, and so we're just going to take a look at some of the distinguishing factors between these two literary devices. So first off, simile. So simile is a literary device that compares two different things, and it uses connecting words like and as to make this comparison, and it makes explicit comparisons. So some examples of similes. First, he is as quiet as a mouse. So here the word as is acting as our connecting or our comparing word, which compares and connects he or him to being quiet like a mouse. Second, the diamond glistens like the sun in the sky. So here the word like is acting as our comparing and connecting word, which connects and compares the diamond to the sun that glistens in the sky. Third, her neck is as long as a giraffe. So here the word as is our connecting word, which connects her neck to that being something as long as a giraffe's neck. And lastly, the world is round like my ball. So the word here, like, is our connecting word, and it is connecting and comparing the world to a ball. So metaphors. So metaphors also compare two things, but they indirectly compare two things, and they do not use words like or as, and they make implicit connections. So just a little bit different from similes, where they don't make direct comparisons, but rather they make indirect comparisons. Some examples of metaphors. So firstly, he is a quiet mouse, and here we're comparing he or him to being a mouse, but we're not using the word like or as. Second, he has the aggressiveness of a lion. So again, here we're comparing the aggressiveness of he or the aggressiveness of him to that of a lion, but we're not using the words like or as. Third, that diamond is a glistening pearl. So here we're comparing that diamond to a glistening pearl. And lastly, the world is a ball. So here we're comparing the world to a ball. And it's very important to note that none of these examples use the words like or as, so we're indirectly comparing these two things. Alright, so little activity. There's going to be 3 sentences that pop up on your screen. Your job is to identify whether or not there's a simile in a sentence or a metaphor. And if there's a simile, identify the connecting or comparing word. Alright, so the first one, they fought like cats and dogs. So here, the word like is a connecting word, and that off the bat tells us that this is a simile where we're comparing them to fighting like cats and dogs. Second, this house is as clean as a pearl. So here, the word as is our connecting word, which compares the house to being clean like a pearl. So once again, this is also a simile. The third sentence, the snow is a white blanket. So here we don't have a connecting word, but we still are comparing the snow to being similar to a white blanket. So this one indirectly compares two things and is a metaphor. And then lastly, he is a shining star. So we don't have a connecting word again here, but we still are comparing him to being like a shining star. So this indirectly compares two things and thus is a metaphor.